Hello and welcome to Ames in Focus, the podcast where we dig into the stories, services, and sometimes the soil that keeps our community growing. I'm Bill Gebhart with the City of Ames, and today's episode is for anyone who's dreaming of green shoots, fresh herbs, and maybe, just maybe, a tomato harvest that doesn't get entirely eaten by squirrels. That's right, we're talking spring, seeds, and a unique program at the Ames Public Library that helps you get growing. No green thumb required. Joining me is a returning guest and a friend of the pod, Megan Klein-Hewett, Adult Services Manager at the library and certified champion of lifelong learning, seasonal planning, and now seed sharing. Megan, welcome back to Ames in Focus. Glad to have you.
Glad to be here.
So let's start with the basics. What is the Seed Library? How long has it been around and how does it work?
So a seed library is a collection of seeds that are available to the community. Our seed library makes all those seeds available for free, which is pretty cool. The seed library has been around since I think our first growing season was 2024. So we're going on year 2 being open. And we have distributed more than 1,000 packets of seeds in those 2 years, which is pretty amazing to think about because it's not been that long, but we've done a lot of work and gotten a lot of seeds out there.
And so just like a regular library, instead of offering Far Off Worlds, you might get zucchini or something.
Yeah, exactly. So you can come to the library and we've got a cabinet. It's 3 sets of red drawers. So it's really obvious. Look for the red drawers up by the adult services desk. And they're full of packets of seeds. So you can browse the drawers, pick out whatever seeds you want, and take them home. So there is an iPad up there that you can tell us what you've borrowed. It's got some simple demographic questions that one of our partners has asked that we collect that information. And then it's just got lines where you can put in, I took tomatoes and zucchinis and peas, or whatever it is that you've taken. And that just helps us both keep track of how much is going out, but also helps us keep track of what's popular.
Yeah, so that we can perhaps get more of those things
exactly.
too. So you mentioned some vegetables, but what kind of seeds are available? So vegetables, are there flowers, herbs, mystery plants, whatever?
All of the above. There's
all of the above.
Vegetables, herbs, flowers. We've got a variety of other things that we put in with flowers. It's flowers and miscellaneous.
Okay.
So that we've got a place to put those things, but it's things like cotton or maybe amaranth, grains that you might be growing for looks, you might be growing to harvest. It kind of depends on what it is and what you might be wanting to do with it.
And so to figure out what is available for me at the library, I need to go in and look at them, or is there another way to do that?
You've got a couple options. So coming in to look at what's in the drawers is definitely the most accurate way to figure out what we have. But there is an online catalog. It provides just really basic information, what type of plant it is, what variety of plant it is. And it's not 100% up to date. So that can give you an idea, but the best way to find out what's actually available is to come in.
With people checking them out with the iPad themselves, it's the accuracy of that. And
it's not connected through the library's catalog. So it's not an active, in real time update.
So is this program then just for seasoned gardeners, or can beginners get involved too?
That's the best thing about the seed library because it's free. It doesn't really matter what kind of experience you have. I would welcome anybody to come and grab seeds. There's stuff in the seed library that's perfect for a beginning gardener: radishes, peas, zinnias, all super easy to grow and things that we pretty typically have available in the seed library. We also have things that require a little bit more experience. We've got prairie seeds, either from folks in the community that have collected them, or our partners at Story County Conservation very kindly donate seeds that they collect from their prairies. And prairie seeds are just a little bit harder to grow. Wouldn't suggest probably starting them inside. Some of them require stratification, which means it needs to be cold for a certain period of time in order to get it to sprout. So things like that. We've got a real variety of it.
Yeah. So depending on the seeds would probably depending on the level of gardener you'd have to be.
Yep.
So I have a question, and I like to ask this every time I'm with someone from the library, but why? I know that's a little simple, but why did the library decide to offer a seed library 2 years ago? What's the broader goal with this?
Seed libraries became popular in libraries probably about a decade ago. The library I worked for previously, Omaha Public Library, had a seed library that was really popular. So I was familiar with them and how they worked. But it wasn't until we had this sort of coming together of ideas. So we had a staff member who had an idea that they submitted as a proposal. Then we also had community members who came to us with a proposal. So 2 master gardeners who were going through the master gardener training program, Moral and Shantonia, came to me saying, hey, we have this idea to do a seed library. Would you be interested? And I had dug in my heels and said I was never going to do a seed library because I knew how much work they were from my experience in Omaha. And I knew that we couldn't do it without community partners. And so Moral and Shantonia brought with them Iowa State Extension as part of the Master Gardener program because Iowa State Extension runs that. So Iowa State Extension came in as a partner. Mustard Seed Community Farm came in as a partner, and Seeds of Sustainability, the group that runs our repair cafes, came in as a partner. So between our master gardeners and those 3 partner organizations, we really were able to create a sustainable plan and process for keeping the seed library going without requiring library staff to do 100% of the work.
Right. Because it is a lot of work, like you already mentioned.
It is.
And so with that partnership and the library staff, what are you hoping residents gain from having the seed library there? Yeah,
I think the original vision of the seed library was to make vegetable growing more accessible. So creating more accessible food. Story County has long been one of the most food impoverished counties in the state. So making food available either to people who want to grow it themselves or grow it to donate it was important to the original group who founded it. And also creating this sort of community of growers and being able to have people introduce themselves to one another, get to know each other through the shared interest of growing and gardening was also really important.
And so it sounds like it is a great intersection of connection to nature and to each other, to a community, as well as food resilience, things like that, putting it all together.
Absolutely. And a lot of that we've also done through programming. So we do a lot of programming in connection with the seed library, which has really helped to, again, build those connections with each other and similar things like that.
And so as we're approaching spring, that really is a perfect time to start thinking about this, right? Are there any tips for people that are just starting out with the seed library or just growing in general?
I think if you're new to growing, come see us. Some of the staff are more knowledgeable about plants than others. I went through master gardener training. I'm a longtime gardener. My mom was a master gardener. So I'm always happy to talk plants and talk things. Like I mentioned earlier, if you're looking for something easy to start with, peas, radishes, beans, any of those things that you can put in the ground once it thaws in May are a great place to start. Zinnias and marigolds are also easy flowers to grow. You can put the seeds in the ground and have them come up with no problem. Things like tomatoes, peppers, those are a little bit harder. You have to start them early. So depends on your interest level, depends on what you want to grow. I always tell people, when it comes to vegetables, grow what you know you're going to eat. Some vegetables are harder to grow than others, but if you're not going to eat zucchini, don't grow zucchini because what's the point?
Yeah. Why would you do it if you're not going to eat it? Right.
Just even though it's easy to grow.
Yeah. Yeah. So I had a logistical question. How do people get these seeds? So I know that they're free, and you talked about the bins. Do you need a library card, or what's the process of doing it all?
You don't even need a library card. They're just free and available to anybody who comes in. You can grab them out of the cabinet and take them to go.
Okay. So, what if someone wants to donate seeds, or maybe they need help sorting, organizing them, things like that? Well, how do you do that?
Yeah. So we take donations anytime. They can be brought up to the second floor adult services desk. There is a form that we ask people to fill out, just saying, yes, we can give away the seeds that you're giving us. If you're bringing us seeds that you've purchased commercially, so they're in a small seed packet, we really just need your name and a signature saying, yes, you can give away my seeds. If it's something that you've grown or harvested yourself, there's a little bit more information that we're looking for. We want to know what it is.
Figure out where it came from. Yeah.
That kind of thing. If you're interested in volunteering with the seed library, we do have volunteers that take all of those seeds that we get through donation and repackage them all. Seeds often come in packets of way more than you would possibly grow. They're way more than I personally grow for myself. And so it's a good way to get those seeds into other people's hands, and we separate them out, put them into smaller packages. so we can share them. We have volunteer days once a month where all of our volunteers come together and hang out and chat and repackage seeds.
Yeah, that's great.
And you can always reach out to us at volunteer@amespubliclibrary.org if you want to get involved with that.
Yeah, and we had Jahan on here talking about the volunteer opportunities, not specifically with the seed library, but saying all over the library, there's tons of places to do that too. So people can check back on that episode too and hear more about volunteer opportunities. So we know the seed library is there. It's free for anyone that wants to come in. What other spring growing type of programming should people know about?
We have a lot of programming coming up. We always have a lot of programming
Absolutely,
coming up.
you do, always.
Spring and gardening and sustainability related programming. So we have a book discussion group that meets every month on the fourth Tuesday. It's called Deep Roots and is run by my colleague Amanda. They read books related to gardening, the outdoors, sustainability, all of those subjects that we touch on with the seed library.
Very cool.
So if that's something that you're interested in, Deep Roots, like I said, fourth Tuesday at 7 p.m. We also have an author event with Art Cullen coming up. Art has long been an advocate for Iowa's waterways and clean agricultural systems. He's going to be at Ames Public Library on March 23rd at 7 p.m.
That's next Monday.
Yep, that's next Monday, very soon.
That'll be a good one.
We've got a program coming up with Prairie Rivers of Iowa talking about their seed bank program. That's on April 7th.
Okay.
The Repair Cafe is coming back.
Always great to have a Repair Cafe.
Always a great event. And this is our big Earth Day celebration. So that's on April 18th. We'll have the seed library there. We'll do a plant swap that we're working with the city's Green Iowa AmeriCorps interns on.
Okay.
So that's always a great event. And then on April 25th, we're doing Stories of the Season with the Women, Food, and Agriculture Network, where folks can come to the library and create an ecological calendar with their seasonal observations.
So it's definitely a lot of gardening related things that are going on at the library all throughout the spring, all throughout the year probably, but definitely in the spring is where we're kicking it into gear, right?
Yep, exactly. It's growing time. Flowers are going to start coming up. So it's time to think spring.
All right, so you know what time it is. It's rapid fire question time. Yeah, you know. So let's do some spring themed ones though, right? Since that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So Megan, what is your favorite thing to grow?
So my favorite flowers to grow are Amsonia and Baptisia. Which if you're not a gardener, you probably don't know what those things are.
I have no idea. So
I love them. Amsonia has these like wispy sort of ethereal leaves that blow back and forth in the wind and have these really beautiful blue flowers and actually truly blue flowers on the top. Baptisia is a native. It's in the pea family and It's got these beautiful blooms and all kinds of different colors, which are lovely. My favorite vegetable to grow is garlic.
Garlic.
Because it's long lasting, right? I'm still eating our garlic harvest from July of 2025.
Yeah.
So it lasts a really long time and I find that very rewarding.
No, I think that's good. So what is your worst gardening fail? I know you don't want to advertise this, but I want to know what it is.
So like I said, I'm a longtime gardener. I've had a lot of gardening fails, but I think my worst one was the first year I started seeds for my garden in my basement. I live in an old house and we have mice. And they ate all of my seedlings.
So you did not have seedlings after that?
I did not. I was able to rescue a few of them and I was able to restart a few things, but that was really disappointing.
Yes. No, I get that. Okay. And then how about this one? What's a plant that you wanted to grow, but you never could quite really manage it? For me, that's every plant.
Every plant.
For me, that's every plant. I have whatever the opposite of green thumbs is.
The black thumb.
That's what it is. That's what I got.
I have always wanted to grow dahlias, but they are a spring. I think it's a tuber. It's not a bulb, but it's a tuber that you have to put in the ground and then take back out again if you want to grow it the next year because it won't survive the cold in Iowa. And I can't motivate myself to put something in the ground and take it back out and store it, regardless of how beautiful dahlia blooms are.
So you want them, they're just maybe a little too much work.
They are.
No, I think that's a great answer. Well, Megan, thank you as always for bringing the sunshine and the seeds. This is such a fun, grounded way to connect with the library and with each other. And to our listeners, if you're ready to get your hands dirty in a good way, stop by the Ames Public Library and check out the Seed Library. It's free, it's fun, and who knows, you might just grow something amazing. Thanks for tuning in. Be kind, keep growing, and we'll see you next time on Ames in Focus, where the grass really is greener.
Ames in Focus is a City of Ames podcast.